Her name was Viola. In 1954, she walked into a job interview in Chicago in a dress she had altered 3 times, shoes she had resoled once, and a hat she had rebanded with a new ribbon that morning. The woman at the desk looked her up and down and asked where she had bought her suit. Viola was not wearing a suit. She was wearing a fitted dress with a structured collar she had stiffened with a piece of cotton, interfacing cut from an old pillowcase. It read as a suit from across a desk. That was the intention. She got the job. The women in Viola's community operated inside a set of rules so precise and so effective that the results looked effortless. They were not effortless. They were studied. They were passed mother to daughter, neighbor to neighbor, seamstress to customer. In the same way recipes were passed, without being written down, without being named, without anyone thinking they were doing anything unusual because everyone around them was doing the same thing. What follows is 25 of those rules, not the philosophy, the actual tricks, the specific things they knew that nobody is teaching anymore. Before number 25, subscribe. This channel exists to recover exactly this. Hit that button, then let's go. Number 25, starch was not optional. A limp collar is a finished outfit that hasn't been finished. Viola kept a spray bottle of liquid starch at the ironing board. Collars, cuffs, and the front placket of every blouse went stiff before they went on her body. It cost pennies. It read as expensive. Number 24, never buy a color you cannot already see in your wardrobe. Before anything new came into the house, it had to match something already there, not approximately. Actually, Viola carried a swatch of her main pieces in her purse. Small squares of fabric cut from seam allowances, tucked into an envelope. When she shopped, she held the new piece against the swatch. If it didn't work, she left it. Number 23. The hem told people everything. A hem that hit at the narrowest point of the calf lengthened the leg. A hem that hit at the widest point of the calf shortened it. Every woman in Viola's circle knew this. The seamstress adjusted the hem based on the leg, not the pattern. A ½ inch could change everything. Number 22. White gloves once a week kept the hands looking like they matched the outfit. Viola wore gloves to church every Sunday. Not because it was required, because bare hands in that era communicated something different than gloved hands, and she was deliberate about what she communicated. The gloves came off indoors. They went back on before she left. Number 21. A brooch moved 3 times is 3 outfits. The same brooch worn at the collar, at the waist on a belt, and at the shoulder of a coat was 3 different looks from one $2 piece. Viola owned 4 brooches. She never felt limited by 4. Number 20. The undergarment built the dress. In 1954, you did not put a dress on an unsupported body and hope for the best. A structured bra, a light girdle, and a slip were what the dress was designed to go over. The slip prevented the fabric from clinging and gave the skirt the movement it needed to fall correctly. The underpinnings were the foundation. The dress was the finished coat. Number 19. 2 neutral shoes covered the entire wardrobe. Black and a warm tan. That was it. Every dress Viola owned was chosen with those 2 shoes already in mind. Nothing came into the wardrobe that didn't work with at least one of them. The shoes were resoled when they wore through. They were not replaced because the season changed. Number 18. A scarf tied at the neck finished what the collar started. A silk scarf, or a rayon scarf that looked like silk, tied low at the throat, added color at the face without buying a new blouse. Viola had 7 scarves. Combined with 7 blouses, the mathematics gave her 49 combinations. She did not own 49 blouses. Number 17. Press the seams open and the dress reads as tailored. A home-sewn dress with pressed open seams lying flat looks professionally made. A home-sewn dress with rolled seams that haven't been pressed looks home-sewn. The iron was the difference between the two. Viola spent as much time at the ironing board after she sewed as she did at the sewing machine while she sewed. Number 16. The waist was the anchor. Everything was fitted to the waist first and built out from there. If the waist was right, the eye read the whole garment as right. If the waist was wrong, nothing above or below it could save it. Viola took in every waist on every piece she owned, commercial or homemade, until the fit was exact. Before number 15, if this is the kind of video that belongs on your feed, subscribe now. This channel goes where the history actually is. Number 15. Lint was personal. Before Viola left the house, she ran a damp cloth across every visible surface of her outfit. Not a lint roller. Those barely existed. A damp cloth, pressed once in each direction. Lint and stray threads on dark fabric communicated carelessness. She was not careless. Number 14. The collar was the frame of the face. In 1954, the collar was understood as the most important design element of any blouse or dress because it was the first thing the eye saw. A wide, flat Peter Pan collar opened the chest and drew the eye upward. A pointed collar created formality and length. Viola chose her necklines based on what she wanted the eye to do, not what was on the rack. Number 13. Dark colors anchored, light colors expanded. Dark on the bottom, light on the top made a woman look taller and longer. Light on the bottom, dark on the top reversed the effect. Viola knew what she needed on a given day and dressed accordingly. She did not think of this as color theory. She thought of it as common sense her mother had given her. Number 12. A belt cost $1 and changed the architecture of everything. A dress that read as shapeless became fitted with a belt at the natural waist. A blouse tucked into a skirt and belted became a suit. A coat belted became structured. Viola owned 5 belts in different widths. She used them the way a painter uses different brushes, each one for a different purpose, none of them interchangeable. Number 11. Mend it the same day it tears. A small tear left until tomorrow becomes a large tear by next week. Viola kept a needle and thread in every room where clothes were handled. The sewing kit by the bedroom door, the one in the hall closet, the one in her purse. A loose button was sewn on before it was lost. A pulled hem was tacked back before it was stepped on. Nothing left the house damaged because nothing was allowed to stay damaged. Number 10. The coat was the first thing they saw and the last thing they remembered. In Chicago winters, Viola was in her coat more than she was out of it. She owned one good wool coat in a neutral color that worked over everything she owned. She had it cleaned once a year and brushed once a week. She did not buy a new coat because a different silhouette appeared in the shop window. She had her coat. It was good. It stayed. Number 9. Pin the hem before you cut it. Viola never cut a hem by measuring from the floor. She put the garment on the body, had someone pin the hem while she stood straight with her weight even, and cut only after the pins said where the cut should go. A hem measured from the floor is accurate. A hem pinned on the body is right. Number 8. Shoes spoke before she did. Viola polished her shoes every Sunday night without exception. A scuff on a shoe communicated something she did not intend to communicate. The polish took 6 minutes. The impression it changed lasted their entire week. Number 7. The slip was a privacy garment and a shape garment at once. In 1954, a skirt worn without a slip was considered unfinished in the same way a face without lipstick was considered unfinished. The slip prevented the fabric from going transparent in sunlight. It prevented static from pulling the skirt against the legs. It gave the skirt the weight it needed to swing correctly when she walked. 3 functions from one 30-cent garment worn under everything. Number 6. Buy the fabric first, then decide what to make. Viola did not go to the fabric store to buy fabric for a specific dress. She went to see what was there. When she found something exceptional, a wool suiting fabric at the end of a bolt selling for 20 cents a yard, a cotton print in a color nobody else had bought, she bought it and let it wait. The right use for it would come. The fabric store on 4th Avenue closed in 1971 and nothing replaced it. Number 5. The right lipstick completed the outfit the same way a period completes a sentence. Viola kept one lipstick in her purse. 1. A deep berry that worked across her skin tone in every season. She did not leave the house without it on, and she did not touch up more than once in public. The color was chosen deliberately and never changed because it worked and because what worked did not need to be replaced. Number 4. Never wear something for the first time somewhere it matters. Every new garment Viola made or bought was worn once at home before it was worn anywhere that counted. She walked in it. She sat in it. She raised her arms in it. She stood up from a chair in it. If it pulled or gaped or fell wrong when she moved, she fixed it before it went out in the world. Nothing surprised her in public because nothing had been left to chance in private. Number 3. A dress worn 3 ways is 3 dresses. The same day dress worn with a belt was office appropriate. Worn without the belt with a cardigan added, it was Saturday afternoon. Worn with the collar turned up and a brooch at the throat, it was evening. Viola did not buy more clothes to cover more occasions. She learned to make the clothes she had cover more occasions. Number 2. Let the other women see you before you see yourself. Before she left the house on any important morning, Viola stood in the kitchen doorway and let her mother look. Not for approval, for accuracy. Her mother would say yes or adjust one thing. The belt moved half an inch, the collar turned down, the hat tilted 3 degrees forward. The second set of eyes was not vanity. It was quality control. Number 1. Dress as if it matters because it does. This is the one that held every other trick together. Viola did not dress well because she was vain. She dressed well because she understood something that the current era has largely forgotten. In a world that was working every day to communicate that she did not matter, the way she presented herself in public was one of the few languages she was permitted to speak without interruption. During the Civil Rights era, the instruction to marchers and protesters was explicit. Dress your best. Press clothes, polish shoes, hats and gloves. Not because it made them safer. It did not make them safer. Because they understood that dignity claimed through appearance is harder to dismiss than dignity claimed through words alone. The photographs from those marches are evidence. Look at the faces. Look at the clothes. Look at what they were saying before anyone opened a mouth. Viola dressed like that every day. Not only on Sundays, not only on important mornings. Every day she left the house, she dressed as if her presence in the world was worth preparing for, because it was. The tricks on this list cost almost nothing combined. The cheapest of them was the damp cloth for lint. The most expensive was the one good coat. None of them required a subscription, a credit card, or a purchase made in 30 seconds from a phone screen. What they required was knowing what you were doing and believing it was worth doing correctly. Viola's granddaughter found her sewing box in 2004. The fabric swatches in the envelope were still there, faded but intact. She didn't know what they were for. She does now. Pick 3 things from this list. 3 you can start this week. Come back in the comments and tell me which ones. The next video is ready.